Merry Christmas, a lot of people say Merikuri. So that conversation is being held just by saying ototototo and saying ma 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 ma. 皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. So everyone, I was super honored to receive a DM from this man here, Katsura Sunshine-san. He is a professional rakugoka. Rakugo is the comedy storytelling, it's a traditional culture in Japan, and he's a professional. Rakugoka means that you're a professional. So he gave me a message actually on Instagram saying that he watched the video where I introduced Rakugo. It's a very old video that I made when I was still living in my old house. But he saw that video and was like very happy that I made a video talking about Rakugo because most people don't talk about it. But still, I believe that studying Rakugo is a great way for studying Japanese, and I was contacting him and I asked him because he makes so many funny, interesting videos and enjoyable videos. I was like, it'd be great if I can introduce your content on my channel. And he was like, please, if you want to do that, please go ahead and do it. So here I am. So I'm going to be taking a look at some of the reels, the videos that he has on Instagram. He has actually more than 100,000 followers. So amazing. I'm going to be taking a look at them and confirming with you that his videos are awesome. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese culture, tips on traveling to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. それでは本日も参りましょう。So again, this is his Instagram page, Katsura Sunshine. I love how his name Sunshine in kanji character is the three shine. It literally is the three, which is sun in Japanese, and then shine is ki. That kanji character literally means to shine. So Sunshine, I really love the name. Katsura is a name that the professionals of a certain Ryuha basically has been carried down. So once you become a professional, just like in Japanese traditional dancing, you get to have a certain part of your name as a professional. And Katsura is one of the very famous names that you can get when you become a professional rakugoka. So I think it's really amazing that he has the name Katsura as a rakugoka. And this is his Instagram page. There's a lot of cool reels on here. Some of them have millions and millions of views, so I'm going to be taking a look at the ones that are especially popular and has been viewed by many people. Let's start from the first video, okay?
In Japan, Japanese people love to shorten things, right? Convenience store, kombini. Personal computer, pasokon. Pocket monster, Pokemon, right? McDonald's, the restaurants, McDonald's. You have various ways to short. They have variety of shortenings in Japan. Here you would say maku, but in Osaka you would say makudo. My favorite is first kitchen, fakkin. Brad Pitt, first name, last name, 2 syllables. It is technically impossible to have a shorter name in English. But here you say Brappy.
Oh my gosh, I love this video so much. This is so true. Japanese people love to shorten things. Some of the things that when shortening everything became too popular, I guess. Like for example, in New Year's, you might know if you're studying Japanese, we say Shinnen akemashite omedetou gozaimasu because the New Year's is a very important timing of the year for Japanese people, But a lot of Japanese people say akeome. So akemashite omedetou is akeome. And then 今年もよろしくお願いします means thank you very much for taking care of me kind of thing for this year as well kind of thing. So it's just saying your greetings, So 明けましておめでとうございます。今年もよろしくお願いします is the official way to say these greetings, the polite way to say it. But from around the time when I was a teenager still, a lot of the young people started to say 明けおめことよろ. 明けおめことよろ is just like very shortened version. And what's even more surprising is Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, a lot of people, young people say Merikuri, and it's just 4 katakana. So they've shortened all those things too. Sometimes by shortening things too much, it becomes a little bit rude. Sometimes just saying words fully is more polite, right? And I think that's the same in any language, like my mother used to say when I was a teenager, sure, a lot of people started to say Akeome kotoyoro merikuri and such. She was like, does it mean that you can shorten everything? So I usually never say Akeome kotoyoro and such because my mother used to teach me that. But stuff like that happened in Japan. So this is 100% true and it's hilarious. Then let's take a look at the next video.
Japanese friends tell me that a lot of elderly Japanese people, for a long time ago and still now, enjoy going to the hospital not because they are sick, but because they want to meet their friends and socialize in the hospital waiting room. Suzuki-san, long time no see. Tanaka-san, long time no see. I am so sorry I could not come last week. Yes, you did not come last week. We meet here in the hospital waiting room to socialize every week. Why did you not come and join us last week? I'm so sorry I could not come last week. I was sick. You were sick. Too sick to come to the hospital. And how are you feeling now? Much better, thank you.
Oh my gosh. I think it's so amazing that what should I say? He really incorporates the ma, the special ma of Rakugo, the way the storytelling techniques into English perfectly. I think it's amazing. And what he talks about here is also very, very true too. In Japan, because we have these special cards called the Hokensho, and if you're a Japanese citizen, you're able to use the hospitals at a very, very cheap price. So a lot of elderly tend to go to the hospital very easy. They just cough a little bit, hospital, slight headache, they go to the hospital, They really love going to hospitals all the time. And if you ever have a chance to go to the hospital, you'll realize that it's filled with elderly in Japan. And it's totally true that a lot of people try to have an occasion to see each other there at the hospitals. That is 100% true. So from the time when I was young, the hospitals were absolutely a place like that. So talking about this is really, really true too. When you get really sick and you really can't go to the hospital, if you go to the hospital, it means that your friends are healthy in a way that they're alive. So I think it's really, really funny. And by the way, I love his kimonos that he wears too. I think in the profile, in the bio, he wrote denim kimonos, but I love his fashion as well. It looks really, really nice. Okay, then let's take a look at the next video.
Someone's pouring your sake, just say this. You hold your cup with a hand underneath and you say this. A very polite, a very proper way of pouring sake is right to the top of the glass. I'm not exaggerating. I mean that the surface tension of the liquid is causing the liquid to come over the cup without spilling. That's how high. So here's two things you have to remember. Number one, if someone's pouring your sake, do not say you spill the sake, which would be my bad habit, right? And the other thing is, for us, non-Japanese, if you start pouring and they say, it sounds like they want you to stop. But do not stop, because they'll be saying, like, why is he being so cheap with the sake? That's what'll happen, right? They sound like they're saying, no. But what they're really saying is go. That's all you have to remember.
I think we talked a little bit about this when we reacted to some of the videos. I think it was a video made by Ramen-san. I think they were talking about like the fake rules for going to a sushi shop or the nomikai parties and such. If you're the one holding onto the cup, you would say otototo. But the person who's pouring the cup will say ma. I do not know where this comes from. Maybe it's like ototo does sound like you're gonna make it spill, you're giving me too much. And the other person who is pouring is like, oh, no, don't hesitate, drink as much as possible kind of thing. So that conversation is being held just by saying otototo and saying ma. If you could go back to one of my videos, I'm pretty sure we talked about this already. Everyone still say it today. I think maybe like my parents' generation might still say it, or people like in my generation, like in their early 30s or 20s and such. If they say it, they're like saying it on purpose to make fun of it in a way. So I guess not that many people in their 20s will say it anymore, but I guess it really depends on who you ask. Then let's take a look at the next video.
If you go to Osaka and point a pretend gun and go, bah, most people will say, oh, that's Osaka. It's the funniest place in Japan. I'm telling you, there's no other place like this in the world, okay? I perform in New York. If you go bah in New York, you get arrested.
Oh my gosh, this is something that a lot of Japanese people talk about too. The reason why, I should say, a lot of comedy, basically, comedy culture was born in Osaka. So even in daily communication, people from Osaka or people from the Kansai area like to always have jokes in what they talk about in their daily conversations. They would say a lot of jokes and goof around and say a lot of sarcasm and all that kind of stuff. It's just a part of their communication. And the major reason why, there's a lot of course factors to why this kind of culture developed, but but the major reason is because Osaka was a city for merchants. So a lot of conversation was important. So when you buy or sell things, you need to get to know that person, you need to be friendly. And then that's where all of these, getting to know more people. And there's a lot of money there basically too in Osaka because there's a lot of business going on too. So a lot of entertainment developed there as well. So even today, it's really funny how when people from the Kansai area like Osaka or Kyoto and such, and other people from different places, when they communicate, from people like Osaka, people like me who are from Kyoto, when we say a joke, the people from like the Kanto area, from Tokyo, or from the Kyushu area, like Fukuoka, or those places, they'd be like, what do you mean? Why are you saying these things to me? I'm like, it's a joke. It's okay. Please laugh. It's okay to laugh. And there's these awkward moments. That happened a lot. When like Harumi she was born and brought up in Fukuoka, right? And I was born in Kyoto. I was raised by parents who grew up in the Kansai area where this culture is normal, joking around and saying all this stuff. In the beginning, there was always like, when I say a joke, she's like, are you serious? Do we have to go now? Or like, are we going to be doing this right now at this moment? Or, I'm like, no, we're not going to be doing that. It was just a joke, that kind of stuff always happened. And finally now being together for almost about a decade, now we can joke around the same topics and stuff. But in the beginning, it was really, really hard. So my mother always talks about this because she was born and brought up in Kyoto. And she went to Hiroshima after being married with my father, right? So in Hiroshima, again, they don't have the culture in Kansai. So a lot of miscommunication would happen because of saying jokes and starting the conversation in the Osaka Kansai style. So this is something that's really interesting. And if you're coming to Japan, and depending on where you learn your Japanese, I think the culture will be totally different. So I think this is something that's really interesting to keep in mind. Then let's take a look at the next video.
Japan has a very old history. We have a very young history in Canada. India has an even older history. Right? Things are extremely old here, I realize. You've a very, very long and deep history here. And I realize that by the reaction I get when I talk to people. Because if I say in Canada, the art form that I perform, Rakugo, is a 400-year history of storytelling. People say, oh my God, that's twice as old as Canada, that kind of thing, right? United States too, we have nothing that's 400 years old. Maybe 100 or two, some of our music, that kind of thing. 400 years, amazing. I told some people in India that I met in New Delhi when I came yesterday, it's a 400-year history of storytelling in Japan. They said, oh, my neighbor is older than that.
This is interesting too. Not Rakugo, but something really similar happens when I talk about katanas. I actually sell katanas at my dojo where I train in Yushinkan, Kyoto, and the people who participate in my 2-hour samurai training activity will often buy our katana, but many of our katana that we sell could be like 500 or sometimes even 600 years old, like from the Muromachi period and so on and so forth, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, like this sword I have in my hands right now, or I'm seeing right now, is like twice or maybe almost 3 times as older than my whole country. And that stuff happens. But it really depends on where you're from. Yeah, some cultures, of course, would have a longer history. Like in Japan too, we always love learning a lot about Chinese history. We love kingdom and all those stories, right? When we talk about China, we talk about the 4,000 years of history and stuff. So it really depends on where you're from. But stuff like this happens not just for Rakugo, but for other Japanese traditional culture too. And I think it's really, really funny. Then let's take a look at the next video.
If you want to make something more polite in Japanese, you have 3 options. You raise the status level of the other person. Number 2, you lower your own status level. Number 3, you raise the status level of the other person at the same time as lowering your own status level. If you say yoroshiku, a little bit more polite, yoroshiku onegai shimasu, which translates to, I humbly thank you in advance for your kindness. You see, now I'm humble, so I'm being more polite to you. Then the next one will be yoroshiku onegai itashimasu, which means I humbly thank you in advance for your esteemed kindness. Then the next one up will be yoroshiku goshido no hodo onegai moshiagemasu, which means I hope I am humble enough to accept your esteemed kindness and teaching. I'm not actually expecting to learn anything from you. This is just a way to be polite. And then there's the most polite form of this phrase, which is yoroshiku goshido goben tatsu no hodo negawashu zonjite orimasu, which means please teach me and hit me with a whip.
Oh Oh my gosh, I love this. It's so funny. Like, if you're Japanese and you say these phrases, you know, these polite phrases in Japanese, you don't feel anything because it's just normal, right? But when you translate it into English, it just feels so weird. Especially the last one, he was saying, please hit me with a whip, right? Goben tatsu kudasai literally means that. Yeah, it literally means to hit me with a whip and be very strict to me, basically. When you teach me something, you can really be strict with me. I'll be okay. I'll be happy to take any teaching that you'll be giving me. That's what goben tatsu means. So that's what we really say. But again, as he said, do we really mean it every time we say it? The answer is no. We just say it as a custom, basically. We just say it because that's how we're told to say when we want to be polite. And I think a lot of other phrases would be the same too. Like, for example, in the beginning of every email, for example, he would say, 大変お世話になっております or いつもお世話になっております means thank you very much for always taking good care of me, or you are taking very good care of me, you're always caring about me, all that kind of stuff. But is the other person always taking good care of you? The answer is no, but you say it that way. 何卒よろしくお願いします with all these longer phrases. And especially when you want to be super polite in like emails and such, it gets so complicated with all these different rules, different polite phrases. There's different ways of saying your greetings in different times of the year and different seasons and such. And do you really mean what you say? Like, for example, my email, it's a very beautiful season when the leaves are starting to turn green, or, you know, turned orange and red and all that kind of stuff. But like, do you really want to talk about the leaves? No, it's just a part of communication through these messenger phrases in Japanese. So I think that's really interesting that he picked it up and talked about it in his videos. I think it's really funny translating it to English. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. So again, Katsura Sunshine-san really helped me to remember again that Rakugo is so much fun. Of course, Rakugo has a traditional style, like the old stories and such. Those are really fun too. And these new styles that he's creating is also very funny. A lot of fun to learn about too. So again, as I said in my video too, even if you learn the newer ones, the older ones, regardless, it's absolutely great to enhance your skills in Japanese, learn about the Japanese culture, because the story, the comedy part of the story is always about Japanese people and Japanese culture. And I think it's really funny that you get to learn it in a fun way, you know? So if you're interested in Rakugo, please take a look at the traditional signs too. If you're learning Japanese, you must do this. I would say it's a must, and Katsura Sunshine signs content are amazing. So please jump to his Instagram. My YouTube channel is full, so I hope you can check out all of his other content too. And I too, of course, do a lot of stuff as well. So if you're interested in all of the other activities that I do, it'd be great if you can take a look at my description box. Then guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. 皆さんどうもありがとうございました。Interested in learning katana skills from 22nd Headmaster of Kobudo Asayama Ichiden Ryu 6th Sensei? We hold the best online lessons with perfect English interpretation than anyone can access worldwide. Every lesson will be recorded for you to rewatch anytime, and official down ranks will be provided to prove your progress. Higher down rank holders will also be authorized to open their own dojo in the future. Join us in our ultimate dream of reviving the golden age of Asayama Ichiden Ryu, when there were 7,000 students of the style. Check out the description box or pinned comment to sign up now and for more information.